Yo, what's good, people? Today is another episode of Raven 101. I think it's episode 14. I can't remember. But anyway, this episode is going to be about moves I feel like are underused by Raven players. Perhaps moves that are single hit in a string, or just a regular move that I don't feel like gets enough use. And I feel like this video is maybe for intermediate to advanced level players, but I feel like beginners can still find this video useful. So yeah, I'm just gonna jump into it. So I've got a list of moves that I made. The starting move, 1+2. Now I think 1+2, it's a good move to just throw out because it's safe. It's actually -9. People think this is punishable. Yeah, it's -9. It is quite linear, so you can step. But I would more use this in like a neutral situation. So I would like run up and do 1+2, maybe at the end of the round where they feel like I'm gonna go for a low. Because I do feel like maybe Raven's mids, particularly down back 2-1, is good to use at the end of a round. But like, let's say for example you do this because you want to do a mid and they duck and punish it, you know. So maybe this is better because now you force them into a get up situation where they have to guess now. So you can do this, which is let me make a like side roll. They get hit with forward 4. They try and get up as well. So if we try to wake up backwards, let's see what happens. Yeah, so I think if they do this as well, they get hit. So it's a guess. And then of course if they stay on the ground now, you can do stuff like this, or you can do, but I wouldn't recommend doing that because they can side out of that. So I'd recommend like dashing up and doing a low. So you know, it forces the opponent into a guessing situation. And also it's good to frame trap people with this because, as I said, you can step it. So if we record that, so at this point I'm -1 on block, and I can still step both ways because it's quite linear. But I would recommend using this after like a heavily plus on hit mid. So down forward 1, down back 2-1, because they can't do anything about this. And then let's do down forward 1+2. So yeah, they can't actually do anything about this move. Try to step. Yeah, I'm just 2+ to even step it. And the same goes for down forward 1. Right. Yeah, you can't, because I'm +7 after down forward 1 and hit. So if you do 1+2, they're not going to be able to step it. So that's 1+2. I just feel like I don't really see many Raven players using it. As I said, it does force a knockdown mix-up situation, and on counter hit, it locks them back. If they don't get up, yeah, if they don't get up, this is guaranteed. Obviously, they can actually roll out of this. It's not that good, but yeah, if they don't, if you can tell if they don't hold back, and you have enough visual time, or you have enough time to visually confirm it that they don't hold back, and then you can do upward 3, a guaranteed ground hit. So let's move on. Okay, standing 3. If you do this, this is -8 on block. It's the same as this, -8. But I just feel like this is quite underrated because it creates space. Look at the pushback. Like, it creates space. So now if they try to like retaliate, you can obviously confirm it and whiff punish it. It's one of the moves I use against a lot of top EU players, just because I feel like it creates a lot of space, especially like, for example, if they do this, I get punished because I tried to retaliate. Do you see what I mean? Talk back a bit. It's gonna whiff. And usually people press jabs or like a down forward 1, but you can actually backdash after that. So if she does nothing, if she does just this now and walks back, yeah, it's gonna whiff. So you don't always have to press. You have to visually confirm they've whiffed and then punish. That was kind of just a preemptive recording to show you that it is possible to whiff punish their retaliation. So I do feel like standing 3 is another move that I feel like is underrated and more players should use it. QCF 1+2. Now I feel like this move is really good because I'll share some secrets with you, because you can actually go into full crouch from this. This is crazy. I did not know this. And I used this in tournament against my teammate who I've been playing for years. And they didn't know this. And I got full crouch sweep and I won the game because of it. Because they didn't know that I could go into full crouch from this. This is insane. Not to mention it's safe. It wall splats. It balcony breaks. It's really good. It has good pushback too. But as I said, this full crouch thing is really, really strong. So it kind of makes retaliation kind of scary to do because, you know, you can do this. Yeah, it's really good. Okay, so QCF 1+2 has really good tracking as well, to both sides. It is possible to step it to both sides. It's not linear, but you can step it to both sides if the side step is on point. The second hit also tracks. So let's say, for example, if you sidewalk it, you will get hit by the second hit. Yeah, so you really have to like time the sidestep. You see, it's really, I'm struggling to sidestep it. See, it's really, really difficult. You really need to like time the sidestep. See, yeah, it's like from a jab or something, it's easier because it's more telegraphed. But if you just do it randomly, it's really difficult to step. Let's actually see if I can step it now. Okay, there we go. We sidewalked it, but like we preemptively sidewalked. You wouldn't really do that against Raven. As I was saying, it has very, very good tracking. It wall splats, it balcony breaks, and it's safe. And you can go into full crouch from it, so it's a very good move. I feel like not a lot of Raven players use it. I think every Raven player knows about the move. It's just very underused, purely because the range is not that good, and also it's linear. It's very, very linear. But I still feel like it's a good move to lock down opponents as well, especially because a lot of people actually think they can mash in this situation. They can't. Yeah, exactly. So it's +5 for force crouch. Meaning they are in crouch, so they have to do a wall standing move. This is going to be a frame trap. Yeah, can't even mash a 10 frame crouch jab. It's always going to be a frame trap. So this is very good to lock down opponents and force plus frames. But as I said, it is very linear, so if you do like jab, back one, yeah, you're going to step it. And also it's a high. So that's to keep in mind. It is a high. It's not. I think if this move was mid, I think it being so linear wouldn't be so bad. But it's the fact that it's a high move, and it's linear. It's linear, so you can step it to both sides. I think it is a weakness. It is a good move to lock down opponents. And actually, forcing people to duck against Raven is very good. So if you can condition people to duck, it's gonna benefit you a lot. So let's just stop her from doing that. So that's back one. Not really much to say. It's just a plus frame move. Elbow, so can't be parried. It spikes, so you know you can use it in floor break combos and stuff. So I just think it's a good move, very underused, plus frames, frame trap. So yeah, I think you should try to use this move more, not overuse it, because as I said, there's a lot of weaknesses to the move. So it's linear, it's a high, so it can be risky as far, and also the whiff recovery is not that great, so you can be whiff punished easily. Now I have wall standing 3, and it's kind of the same thing with like QCF 1+2, because if you try to step it like at kind of this range, it becomes more difficult to step, and normally you would crouch dash in from range, so you wouldn't really do it from point blank. I mean, you could as like a ragdoll 50-50, but I feel like maybe this would be a better 50-50 to go for, just because it counter hit launches, and then also this is like a regular launcher which tracks. So I feel like if you're gonna go for a ragdoll 50-50, it would either be for a mid, it would either be this or wall standing 1, or maybe like QCF 1 from crouch. So I don't think doing a raw 50-50 wall standing 3 is that worth it, unless you buy the wall, then maybe. But it's more to do with like neutral. I think it's very good because it has good tracking. It's safe as well. Let's see the frames. I can't remember the frames. I think it's like -8 or something, but yeah, so it's -8. Again, this has quite good pushback. So if you land it like on point blank, not point blank, like tip range, it can have a lot of pushback. So this is very good. And as you can imagine, if now the Raven retaliates or the person retaliates, it's gonna the move is gonna whiff. Because you can backdash, or you can just hold back and make it whiff. It's a weird move because it's linear up close, but like the further away you get, the more tracking it has. It's very weird, but I think again it's an underrated move that I don't see a lot of Raven players using. Okay, So now we're gonna look at her back turn move. So I think I'm like one of the only Ravens that actually does this, which is it's surprising just purely how strong the move is she, you know, she has back turn forward 4-3, which is the low high. So this by itself is very good. Quite plus on hit, nosebleed animation. It's really good, but the single hit by itself, the first hit, is actually +2 on hit, and it fully tracks to both sides. It's really hard to step. I think you can step it, but the step is really strict. Yeah, as you can see. Let's try the other side. Nope, can't step. So this is very good for locking players down who like to step a lot. Okay, I stepped it then, but I was trying a lot of times before that, so it is very difficult to step. If I do this, for example, and I try to punish it, I'm gonna get parried because it's -9 on block. Yeah, there's nothing I can do other than like an elbow, and then yeah, because she can't parry it. She can do escape parry there, but I would advise to do the attack parry, because yeah, like if you do the attack parry, the thing with escape parry is that you can deal with it very easily if you know your options. So if she does this, that's a punish. There's nothing the Raven player can do about it. And every character has access to, most characters have access to like a generic low from back turn. And then also Raven can do this. That's also a punish. So I wouldn't really advise doing escape parry, just purely because if the opponent knows how to deal with that, it's a bit of a GG, I'm not gonna lie. This transitioned me onto the next move that I think is very underused, which is back turn 3 by itself, which is I-10. Actually, this move is -11 on block, but no one's going to punish it because of this, which is also on counter hit. So if they try to press in between it, guaranteed. So no one ever presses after, so it's basically safe. So you can start doing stuff like this to stop movement, and this has good tracking. Like after plus frames, it has good tracking. So if you try to step left, it's really hard. You can step to the right, but like you have to be really sharp with it. But yeah, I like it just because it's quite long range, you know what I mean? And also, like, for example, if after 4-1, so if you do this, because this wasn't really like, it's +2, and I do use this a lot as like a check, because this is actually it's a frame trap, because this is I-10. So yeah, as you can see, I-10, and this is +2, so it's a frame trap. But also it actually beats a lot of backswings after like 4-1. So because this is 10 frames, I'm gonna try and show it with Raven's backswing. Let's get hit by it. Yeah, you see, I tried to backswing and it didn't work because it's too quick. So if you're scared of, like, because I know a lot of players like resort to backswing blows if they get hit by 4-1, because obviously 4-1 on hit is a bit peak, because now I'm in a back to situation +5. This is a frame trap, so they can't mash. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of frame traps you can do from this. You can do, this is not a frame trap, but it's very difficult to press purely because you basically have 11 frames to press, because this is +5 and this is I-16. So you have 11 frames to press. If Raven does that as a sequence, and I try to do her magic 4, which is 12 frames, it's not gonna work. Wait, let me get hit by it. And I'm gonna get hit because the math is not mathing for me to do that. I don't have enough frames. But now if I do a jab, I'm gonna be able to G-clef her, because I'm within that frame threshold to press. So yeah, just to, you know, just something to keep in mind. Back turn 3 is really good by itself. Back turn forward 4 is really good by itself. I just feel like these two moves together make a really good pair for like keeping people locked down in back turn. So this has good tracking to both sides. This has good tracking to it tracks stepping left. You can step this right. But yeah, I-10, it catches backswings. This also has the follow-up, which is a bait to pressing, because you can do this obviously. So I think just these two in combination is really good. As you can see, it has quite some range. Look at this. It has very good range, and that's why it's good at catching backswing blows. QCF1 HAZE crouch dash. So everyone knows about QCF1, QCF1-2, and also QCF1 HAZE. It's like a flow chart to do. But I think people don't use QCF1 HAZE crouch dash enough, because there's a lot of things you can do. As I said at the beginning of this episode, I did say this video is for intermediate to advanced level players, because I wouldn't expect a beginner to start using this. Do you know what I mean? It's just not something a beginner would be using. So I definitely feel like you can take this on board if you're a beginner and you're trying to pick up Raven. But I feel like, yeah, this specific move sequence is for people that are comfortable with HAZE stances and stuff, canceling HAZE stances, using so if you do crouch dash, you can do moves out of it. So crouch dash down 4, and I go more in depth into this concept in my crouch dash video. So if you go back into the playlist of Master Raven 101, you can see exploring crouch dash, and in that video I do go into more detail about like how crouch dash works, what moves you can do outside of out of crouch dash, you know, so on and so forth. So I won't go into too much detail. So if you do QCF1 HAZE, you can press forward to do crouch dash, and then from there you can start doing like press up to cancel it, and then do like this one is a very, very weird input. So I'm going to put the command history on so you can see what I pressed. So it's QCF1 HAZE forward, up, and then you cancel the up with another crouch dash, and then do while standing 2. It's very very techie, but it's really good. And then you can start doing stuff like QCF2, and then QCF2 cancel. There's just so much things you can do with this sequence. So I feel like this is very underused and underrated. There's not really much else I can say. It's kind of just how creative you are with the sequence and what you do with it. So we're gonna move on. Crouching in back turn. Now a lot of Raven players, they do stuff straight away. So for example, down back 2, the classic is down back 2, back turn down 4. It's the classic, but people have clocked onto the timing. They'll just low parry after this. They'll flash low parry and then stand up, because it beats a lot of options. It beats like power crush, it beats all of our mids. The only thing it doesn't beat is like delayed lows, and that's my point in this section. So you can actually crouch in back turn and still have access to back turn down 4. The only thing about this is that you can only do either crouching moves. So she only has 2, I believe. That's these. That are actually moves, like not generic crouch jabs. So she has back turn down 4 and back turn down 3. So she can only do standing moves from crouch. So if I press, let's say for example, like, you know, back turn back 2, I can't do that from crouch because it's going to be a crouch dash 2. So I can only do standing moves, like jabs. I don't know why it cancels the direction. So if I press like back turn forward 1, but if I try to do that from crouch, I'm just going to get a jab. It's not going to work. It's only going to be a jab, but that's not an issue because these are very good moves anyway by themselves. But that's one thing to keep in mind. But my point is that you can throw off timing, like low parry timing and stuff, by doing a back turn down 4 delayed. So if you do down back 2 crouch and then do back turn down 4, it's going to throw off the timing for their defense. So I really feel like crouching in back turn is really underrated, and more players should use it. So notice how I stood back up, but I had to wait for her to beat and stand, because you can't do it straight away. You have to wait for her to stand, but you have to wait for her to stand and then do it. You can't do it straight away, because otherwise you'll just get back turn 4. It just throws off people's timing, like, and there's a lot of stuff you can do from it. It's just obviously about the player and how they use it, I suppose. So let's move on. Back turn, back dashing. So a lot of people, they get into back turn and now it's just like she stood in one place, but actually you can forward dash and back dash in back turn. And I've done this in tournament. This is my classic, the one that I always do. So if, like, for example, you can do stuff that's safe on block and then backdash in back turn, make stuff with, and then whiff punish it with like a back turn 1-4. This is I8, so it's 8 frames. So it's like, it kind of compensates for you reacting late because it's a quicker move. So for example, I'm going to show you what I mean. All right, so see? So as you can see, this whiff, and I'm trying to hold back and I can't. So I'm actually getting whiff punish for jabbing. Like, that's actually a whiff punish. So if I'm trying to retaliate with mids or highs, yes, it depends on what mid it is, because if I do down back 2 from here, I think it will hit her. Exactly. So yes, it depends on what move they're doing, but a lot of generic tools are going to get with punished. Magic 4 with punished. If I do a low, like down 3, with punished, well, that wouldn't with punished in that case. But you can start with punishing stuff with like power crush as well. It's up to you to decide what move to do. Another good one would be as I said, because this is I-10, so you can do that's up with punish. So I feel like movement in back turn especially is very underrated. So if you do, like, for example, if you're in back turn and you dash and you try to press, let's say you want to do like back turn, back dash, and then forward 2, you're going to get backflip because you pressed forward 3 times. So to prevent this, what you can do is you can press forward twice and hold forward. So doing that with no button is going to turn it around. But what's going to happen if you press a button is you hold it and then press 2, you're going to get back turn forward 2 with no teleport. And it's the same with back turn forward 4. So if you're dancing around in this situation, in this area, and you want to like close the distance a little bit, or if you do this and you know they're going to press, you can dash in. It's also the same for like if you do 4-1 and you are on a big brain read that they're going to do backswing, you can actually dash and still do back turn forward 4-3. So those are just some movement options in back turn that you can explore. I feel like a lot of Raven players should start using just empty movement within her stances. So for example, empty crouch in back turn, empty crouch, and then forward dashing and back dashing in back turn. Because remember, she has back turn 1+2, which is a power crush. So if you can react to like a twitch, if they press, you can power crush it on reaction. It's really, really strong, honestly, and I think a lot of Raven players should use this more. I just wanted to make this video just because I feel like there's a lot of moves where they're really, really strong, and I keep reiterating the fact that this video is for the more advanced players, because this video is to elevate your mind games a lot more. Doing stuff like this now, so you know you're in down back 2 on hit. You can even do this on block, by the way, but now you're in full crouch. So I delayed the low, so now that I can't get low parried unless they make a big brain read that I'm going to delay the low and then delay their low parry, which I've never been low parried for doing this, honestly. And I'm going to insert a tournament clip of me doing delayed back turn down forwards. You can see how effective it is. This is actually +3, and if they're getting poked down by this low, they're gonna press eventually and then boom, counter hit launch. Master Raven has very, very good movement options. I think she has like some of the best movement in the game in terms of forward and you know, forward and backwards movement. Her sidestepping is kind of like mid, but yeah, in terms of like advancing movement, backdash is very, very strong. Even in her stances, she can move back and forth. So I just feel like she has very good movement options, and you can use these movement options with no option, so empty movement, to elevate your mind games. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Now, I've been inactive on YouTube, and it's just because I've been doing other stuff. I've been busy with life, you know, new job and stuff. So I'm gonna try and this year be more kind of active and try to build my channel as well and build more of a community. But yeah, it's really tough. It really is to keep up with YouTube as well, just purely because now I've recorded this, now I've got to edit it, export, make a thumbnail. So yeah, it is a process, but yeah, I'm gonna try and just, you know, be more active for you guys in this year. So hope you enjoyed, guys. Peace.